Well, hello and welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a full face. I'm going to go ahead and get started on my brows. Today I'm going to be using the Younique Brow Obsession palette. With this palette, I'm going to be using the Younique Brow Artist brush. One side has an angled edge to it, and the other side is a flat edge. I tend to like to use the angle side. This is what the palette looks like. You have your wax and you have a darker brown, a lighter brown, and then you have these two kind of highlighty shades to fix and correct any mess ups that you make. Hopefully we don't make any mess ups. So I'm going to dip into the wax, and then I'm going to dip into the darker brown color. And I'm first going to outline my natural shape to my brows. Pick up a little bit more product, run that through, kind of making sure that I'm covering any sparse areas that I may have, and then I'm going to bring it down a little bit to create a little bit of a tail, because I'm missing hair down here, so I don't really have much of a tail to work with. I'm now going to go back into the wax and into the lighter brown and feather that kind of into the front of the brow. Kind of that ombre effect. This is going to give me a really sharp brow. Very defined, very sharp. I am going to take a brush that has a spoolie on the end of it, just like this. This happens to be an e.l.f. What is this? This is the e.l.f. Eyebrow Duo brush, and I'm going to run it through my brows, and it's going to pick up any excess product, and it's going to kind of help blend those colors together. And it's not something that I spend a lot of time on, but I do spend a decent amount of time on. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other one off camera. Now that the brows are on, I'm going to go ahead and go into foundation. The foundation I'm using today is this CoverGirl plus Olay, and this is a Simply Ageless foundation. The brush I'm going to be using is my IT Cosmetics brush, which is really the only one that I use for foundation. It's the Bye Bye Foundation number 22. It looks like this. So I'm going to dip in to my foundation. So now to go in with concealer. So I have been loving this LA Girl Pro HD concealer, and so I'm just going to take a little bit of that and get that on. Come down kind of the sides of my nose, under the eyes, and I'm going to take an EcoTools concealer brush. It's actually it's an angled foundation brush, and I'm just going to work that product in. Try and get rid of any of the dark circles under my eyes. that we happen to get as we age, and lack of sleep. So I have this Becca under eye brightening powder, and I'm going to go ahead and set the concealer before it starts creasing. And with this, I'm using an e.l.f. fluffy brush. Tap off the excess. I don't need a whole lot of powder, just enough to set it. And the other eye. Today I'm going to go into a different bronzer. I'm going to use the Butter Bronzer. And I'm going to try something new because I've never used, it has a little pad brush thing that it comes with. This little doodad. Of course, it's still in the plastic because I've never used it. But I wanted to give it a shot and see what I think of it. So why not try it now? Like, ooh, that's really stiff. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm definitely gonna have to like buff that out. I don't know why I still have this brush in my hand. So I am going to take the e.l.f. brush that I always use, and it's actually the Flawless Concealer brush. Like, I don't think I've ever even realized that, but this is the brush that I always use to bronze with. And I'm just going to kind of diffuse that harsh line. And it seemed to have blended out quite nicely. I'm not mad at that at all. Like, that gave me some color. That harsh line blended out. Like, wow, I am like super impressed. I'm gonna take some of this on that same brush, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna bring it around kind of my forehead. Just kind of bronze up my face, which is not something that I typically do. Not very often. I hope you guys don't hear that. That is my garage door opening. So let me kind of swirl this around and blend it out a little bit. We definitely don't need harsh lines. I'm also going to bring this kind of along my jawline. Almost like contouring, but honestly, I legit have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to this. I'm just trying to learn as I go. Watching other influencers, seeing how they do it, and just trying to pick up a few tips and tricks along the way. The blush I'm going to be using is Younique Moodstruck Minerals. This is what the packaging looks like. This is what the blush looks like. It is the shade Sweet, and this is pigmented. I am using an Eco Tools blush brush, so I'm going to pick some up, tap it off, put it on the apples of my cheeks. See, it's very pigmented, and kind of blend that back a little bit. Do the same to the other side. Definitely brought some color back to my face. Now I'm going to go into highlighter. The highlighter I'm going to be using is the Physicians Formula highlighter that I've been using recently. This is the packaging. It's the Natural Nudes. There is the Shimmer brick. And I kind of stick to this upper corner area. The lighter colors. Tap off the excess and bring it kind of on the high points. I have a lot of wrinkles. I have a lot of scarring. And I think I've talked about this a little bit before about highlighter. I don't tend to use it because it tends to emphasize those areas. I am going to spray my face with setting spray. I want to get all those powders that I just put on kind of melted together. And so to do that, I'm going to set my face. And I know I use a lot of setting spray. I know. So I'm going to go ahead and use a fan and kind of fan that down so that it will dry. But then I do know that my makeup isn't going anywhere. It's going to stay put all day. Okay, so since I have my face on, I set it. It's dry. Everything's looking good as far as I'm concerned, the way I like it. I'm going to go into the eyes and I'm going to use the Moodstruck Eye Primer. And I'm going to just prime my eyelids with it. And it only takes a tiny amount, so that was definitely enough for both eyes. So I've got my eyes primed. I am going to set the primer. I've decided that I kind of like the idea of having it set, so I'm going to go ahead and set it. And I'm going to use this Younique powder concealer brush. And I'm using this smaller end on it. And I'm going to go into the Younique Moodstruck Addiction Palette 1. And I'm going to go into this shade right here called Elated. It's a lighter color, and I'm going to pick up a bit. And I'm going to set the primer. I found that it does make it quite a bit easier to blend the colors if you do set your primer. Alright, so going into the same palette, I'm going to get a crease brush. Actually, I'm just going to use a fluffy brush. This is a Morphe brush. You'll see me use this one quite a bit. I'm going to go into this brown shade right here called Shimmer, and I'm going to bring that into my crease. This will be my transition shade, and these colors are very pigmented. A little bit goes a long way, and I picked up way too much. I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, so I've got Shimmer on there. And then I'm going to go into the Moodstruck Addiction Palette number 5. I think I'm going to take this shade right here. It is called Suspicious. I'm going to take that same blending brush and I'm going to pick that up, and this is a shimmer, and I'm going to bring it down just below, kind of in my crease, but like right below it. Get some more, tap it off. Then I'm going to take a more defined brush. This is the Real Techniques brush. I like to use this one an awful lot too. And I'm going to go into this shade right here. It is called Sarcastic. gonna pick that up and I'm gonna bring that, oh that is pretty, down and along my lid. So I was trying to do like a gradient effect, starting out with the brown and then taking that copper color and putting it in, and then coming down to this pink. I'm kind of digging that. Now I'm going to take a different brush. This is a Real Techniques kind of shader brush. And I'm going to go into, and this might be kind of scary, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to go into this purple. And what I want to do with this is I want to put it on the outer corner and kind of drag it up into the crease just a little bit. Do the same to the other eye. I am going to take this Morphe brush and I'm going to try and blend that a little bit and soften up the edges. I just don't want any harsh lines. That's really the only thing. I just don't want harsh lines. I want the color there, but I kind of want everything to blend seamlessly. And I swear, I always have one eye that turns out like way better than the other one. And I'm not really sure why that is. Okay, so before I do my lower lash line, I am going to clean up the edges here. I'm going to use some concealer. And I'm going to run it like right along that edge. I have that concealer sitting there. I'm going to take this smaller Younique's concealer brush, so it's not quite as big as the other brush that I used to set my concealer. And I'm just going to make that line just a little bit sharper. When I open my eyes, you can see all the different colors. Okay, so once we have the concealer on there, and that line's cleaned up a bit, I am going to dip into some more of the Becca brightening powder because I do not want that to crease at all. Like, that would be bad. Now to work on the lower lash line. Since I'm playing with color, I am going to go ahead and use this Avon Superschock Gel Eyeliner in the shade Aqua Pop. I am going to run that in my lower lash line. And kind of below it, I am going to attempt to kind of smoke it out, drag it down just a little bit. This is not something that I have ever done before, but I've seen other people do it, so thought I'd give it a shot. And it is kind of working. When I sit down here, I never know what I'm going to be doing. Never. I'm going to take that purple shade that I had used, And I'm going to blend it in with that. Now this is definitely not for everyone. Personally, this is stepping way outside my comfort zone. This is not something that I would normally ever do, but you know, practicing, you learn, and I really just wanted to play today. Like, that's what this was all about, was I just wanted to play with makeup. I really think that this has given me the opportunity to try new things and see what I think. So, I am going to use a black eyeliner along my upper lash line. I'm going to go into liquid eyeliner, but this one you have to shake up. This is by Younique. This is called the Dip and Draw, but it has a little wand like that. And this is black. So I kind of lay it on its side, and this pretty much does the work for you. This is like the easiest eyeliner ever. Alright, so now I have a whole bunch of color going on. Might look a little bit crazy, but that's okay. I kind of dig it. Like, I don't usually go to this extreme at all, ever. Right now I'm going to tightline. I'm going to use black pencil eyeliner by Younique, and I'm going to run that in my upper waterline. And I'm only going about halfway, and I am doing it on both eyes. Then I'm going to go in with my mascara, and of course, as always, I'm going to use my Epic mascara. This is my favorite mascara. I really like how that concealer brightened that up on my under eyes. It brought life back to my face. So here we go with the mascara. And I'm sorry if you have to look at my nose. I just don't want to bump. I swear, it sounds like there's a party going on outside of my house. I am going to go behind my lashes, which I don't do very often. And I bumped on my nose. So what I will do is I will wait until that dries, and then it will come right off. If I mess with it while it's wet, it's just going to smear and be a big mess. Do the same thing on this eye. Pull it through the back. Alright, now lower lash line. And I try to grab those hairs with the brush and kind of wiggle the mascara through them in hopes that I don't like get mascara all down my face. Okay, so once I think that I have that on, and I think it's looking decent, pretty good. I don't know, what do you think? Now, I can take that, I guess it wasn't quite dry, rub that right off. Came off super easy. So now I'm going to use a lip product that I have not used in a really long time. Younique came out with these lip products back a while back, and it was a Kudos, and now they've brought them back permanently to the line, so which I'm super excited about. This is what the packaging looks like. They're called Moodstruck Crush Lip Powder, and these are the shades. I'm going to go in with this one. This lighter pink is called Casual. Here's what it looks like right here. This is a powder to cream lipstick. It is the weirdest formula. So, I don't know if you saw that, but as I was talking, it kind of blew some. It goes on as a powder, and as you move it around, it turns into a creamy lipstick. Like genius. So I am trying to line my lips, which it has this doe foot applicator, which makes it pretty simple to line with. The application is very simple. All right. I'm going to go ahead and set my face one more time because you can never have enough, right? All right. Take my fan. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sponge. So I learned this trick also on YouTube, where you take a dry sponge and you kind of pat it, and it picks up any excess product. It also helps kind of push in all those powders so that your skin looks like skin. And that was something else that I wanted to try. So there you have it. I absolutely love this look, and it is not something that I would ever have dreamed of. I was just sitting here, just wanted to play with makeup and mess around, and this is what I came up with, and I am so happy that I did. I'm gonna have to do this more often. Thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching my video. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out. Have a wonderful day.